Full time we break out the grill and cook something nice. I got some pork hock the other day, so today I'm doing jerk pork, among other things. I really love this one, so let's get into it. Pork hock or ham hock is a cheaper cut of pork that comes from the lower part of the pig's leg. It's largely skin, fat, bone and connective tissue, which means tons of flavor, but it also needs a slow, moist method of cooking like braising or stewing to really tenderize this. With a bit of love, this becomes a super rich, savory piece of pork, and you can bet I'm going to give this a lot of love. The first thing we need to do is make a jerk marinade. This is where most of the flavors will come from. I need 2 medium onions. I'm just going to chop these so my blender has an easier time with them. Throw those in. Scotch bonnet is essential in jerk. I'm starting with 3 with stems removed. Dried pimento or allspice, also essential. 3 tablespoons. 3 peeled garlic bulbs. 3 tablespoons brown sugar. 2 tablespoons clove, 2 tablespoons salt, 2 teaspoons grated nutmeg. I'm going to be using the freshly squeezed juice of 1 orange. Even though it's not a lot, the acids in the OJ will help to tenderize the pork as well as add a background fruity citrus flavor. Another essential ingredient, ginger. I'm adding about 3 or 4 inches roughly chopped. Also want a few stalks of scallion. I'm going to roughly chop these as well and add them to the blender. A cup of soya sauce for salt, flavor and color. Fresh thyme. Be generous. It's hard to overdo this. I'm removing the woodier parts so my blender don't have to deal with them. Just throw that in. Red stripe beer. Beer not only adds depth of flavor, but using it in the jerk marinade also helps to tenderize the meat. The bottle is a little over a cup. Next, just give that a rough blend. Done. Alright, let's get the pork. This is 6 pounds. I rinse and clean this up with some vinegar solution and I'm just going to season lightly with salt. Also want a bit of black pepper. Just go massage that in. I have some leftover dry brine spice that I made and used for the holiday roast chicken video. Really delicious. Check that out if you haven't seen it as yet. This is totally skippable, but I had it so I'm going to use it up and get some extra flavors in. This is one flavorful spice blend. Make sure you check it out. Next, I'm going to add the jerk marinade to the pork, but before that, I'm going to massage in the dry spices. Nice. Everything. You should feel the spices in the back of your throat and the smell should be pungent. Next, just massage that in. That's beautiful. I'm going to let this sit overnight to soak up all those spicy flavors and get delicious. Some green pimento would have been very nice, but regular charcoal would have to cut it. If you don't want to deal with the hassle of a grill, you could sear your pork hock in a frying pan for results just as good, minus the smoky flavor. yam. That smell good. So I'm not going to cook this through entirely on the grill. My goal here is to get some charring and infuse some smoky flavor. If I finish this on the grill, it will be very tough, dry and chewy. I'm going to braise these in a jerk sauce, then pop them back on the grill so I end up with the best of both worlds. Super tender, juicy, succulent meat from a long braise and smoky, flavorful pork with a bit of char from the grill. While that's going, let's prep the sides. So I got a piece of yellow yam and some sweet potato which I'm going to roast. Roasted starchy veggies like these goes really well with jerk. It's a pity it's not breadfruit season. Give these a proper wash. That yam is kinda thick, so I'm going to cut it so it roasts quicker. Add a bit of oil and season with salt. The cut sides will turn black, but that's fine. I'm going to oil and salt the sweet potatoes as well. I'm going to set that aside for now. Alright, this is all the pork hock. I'm just going to clean all the extra burnt stuff before I place the sweet potato and yam on. I don't want these to burn before they finish cooking, so I'm going to close this so the coals start to die and the grill cool down a bit. These have some very nice charring on them with a ton of smoky flavor that should really carry through when I cook them in the sauce. Speaking of sauce, it's time to make it. Pineapple complements pork and any kind of jerk in general really well. I only need half of this. I'm dicing it with skin and all. Now waste none. I want a diced carrot as well. One medium onion diced. This is a bulb of peeled garlic. A couple rough chops should do. And fresh thyme for a bit of that fresh thyme flavor. I need a big enough pot to hold everything. A splash of oil. A couple tablespoons of sugar. I'm going to caramelize this for color and depth of flavor. As soon as it's floating and starting to smoke, it's ready, and I can add all the stuff I prepped earlier. Saute these until they shrink and start to brown. That's about a cup of leftover marinade from the pork. I'm going to cook off the extra liquid, then add some red stripe beer. You could sub with water or maybe pineapple juice, but I'm adding 2 bottles for that beer flavor. This really doesn't need a lot of liquid, so be very conservative. I'm also adding half cup soya sauce and about a cup and a half of tomato ketchup. This bottle pretty much done, so that's roughly half cup. 2 sliced scotchy for more spice, and the other cup of tomato ketchup. The sauce set, so I'm just going to add the pork. It should be barely submerged and just reduce the heat to low. The sweet potato and yam come along nicely. Just have to maintain a low temperature. This smells so good. All the flavors are come together and I can't wait for the game. I'm also frying some festival. I use the same recipe from my festival video, so give that a watch if you're curious about that after you finish this video. It's only been about 35 minutes and these are ready. Probably thanks to the marinade, these took way less time than I was anticipating. So the final step is to get these on the grill to layer in some more smoky flavors. Wow, I just grabbed the sweet potato and yam. That happened really fast. I guess the going back on the grill is not an option now. Alright, let's taste this and see how it did. Good. It's cooked tender but still has a bite to it. I don't really want jerk that falls off the bone like a stew. Wow, that's delicious. It's still very smoky, spicy and so flavorful, and the texture is on point. Our roast veggies are done, so let's get everything together. What's your favorite thing to have with jerk pork? Let me know in the comments. Keeping this traditional, I added some sliced peppers and onions as well as some fresh scotchy. Look pretty. That's a really sexy spread. I'm going to make a plate. First I need a bit of that jerk sauce. This is giving buffet vibes. The only thing missing is maybe some rice and peas to soak up some of that sauce or a bit of coleslaw. Alright, that's very nice. Let's give it a taste. Let me try get a nice little bite. Wow, that's so delicious. A big burst of flavor, but that's not the best yellow yam though. It'll give me yam head vibes. Sweet potato is so good. That sweet and spicy work really well. Now for a bite of that pork. I really wanted to get this back on the grill, but it's still so good as it is. The char and smokiness from that first pass carried through really well. Squad, this was great. As usual, I have to shout out my patrons on Patreon. I hope you give this one a try. If pork is not your thing, check out this jerk chicken video for some more great jerk. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.